All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Happy and Fortitude here on Terenas Stand. On the top left-hand side of the map, we are looking at, well, Romantic spawning, or Romantic Fortitude spawning as the yellow human. Meanwhile, Happy over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, bottom right-hand side of the map as the blue undead. Trying to figure out proper zooms. It's like one click, a little bit too. That's a little bit too far. I don't know. I don't know why it scrolls up and down that much. But yeah, let's go ahead and figure things out here. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see a very clean game based off of heavy execution, at least with these two particular players, and well, how strong they are in just playing the classic game. Archmage, nope, not an Archmage. It is going to be a Mountain King going up against a Crypt Lord, so that is already being thrown out the window just a bit. Crypt Lord against a Mountain King, that might mean we will be looking at a Blood Mage second. And I really feel like Blood Mage is almost a necessary hero now in order to, well, Forest Troll Shadow Priest stolen by Happy. As expected, Mountain King going to go ahead and Stormbolt, finish off this Rogue Wizard. Acolyte, Shadow Priest, there's going to be a little bit of healing going down. Are we going to get some damage onto any of these units? The Footman still doing a bit of chasing. There's that Frost Armor going down. Renegade Wizard going to get finished off here. Meanwhile, the Footman is still going after that Acolyte. Acolyte down to 90 hit points. Takes, what, 17 damage per swing because of that additional bonus damage coming across here. All right, down to 55 hit points. Going to go ahead and Forest Troll Shadow Priest try to heal back up a little bit more. And the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is going to be able to stay alive, trying to get away from that Lightning Shield. Acolyte ends up getting taken out by a Lightning Shield on accident as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, I can't quite tell if they're healing each other or if they're healing themselves. But, well, they will get healed back up nicely. Meanwhile, off on the top left, Mountain King does pick up a Potion of Greater Mana, very useful. Restores 200 mana. I remember when it was like was it 250 or 300? It was a lot more mana back in the day and really could swing battles. As we're looking at the Mountain King now making its way over, going to go ahead and Militia clear out this creep camp too. All right, so interesting point of reference. It was Impale first, followed by those Carrion Beetles. Mountain King coming across, getting a Thunder or Stormbolt on that Forest Troll High Priest to make sure that it doesn't get in a lot of healing, and then allowing the Militia and Footmen to finish things off there. All right, level 3 now on that Mountain King. Tome of Agility going to get picked up. We should be looking at an Arcane Tower coupled perhaps with a Scout Tower, or coupled with a Town Hall here, as the Footman now going to be doing a bit of scouting to see what is going, or what is being placed down here. Footman, oh, going to have a very bad day. Maybe forced to try and retreat. No Impale. Temporary stun followed by a surround as the Crypt Lord wants to get to level 3 himself. Mountain King picks up, well, what I believe to be well, Gloves of Haste right there. Going to finish off the remainder of these units and perhaps try and make his way across this here. We are looking at level 2 Thunderclap, so he could Thunderclap, theoretically Thunderclap that location and get a large amount of damage in. We should also be looking at some sort of, well, Arcane Vault in that position here to try and wall off that spot. We're going to be looking at a Skeletal Warrior about to get finished off. Footman, well, able to body, block, and path that unit away. Now, Terenas Stand, where are those 2 or 4 sets of bridges that will set up a bit of interesting play here? The Crypt Lord does have a Wand of Mana Stealing, and this is essentially 240 mana swing. That is a very big deal. That Wand of Mana Stealing, taking 60 mana from your opponent and giving it to you. So that could, in fact, be enough here. Mountain King going to go ahead and Stormbolt down the Forest Troll Berserker. There's a Thunderclap. And then, well, there is a stun as well. The Forest Troll Berserker easily going to get taken down. Mountain King may try and Thunderclap again. Wand of Mana Stealing charge has already been used. And, well, there it goes again. So the Mountain King now forced to use a forced to use that Potion of Greater Mana to try and finish off some of these units. All right, damage is getting racked up. There's a deny right there. Bunch of low hit point units all over the place. Romantic trying to continue to clear things up. Forest Troll Berserkers trying to retreat. Low hit point ghouls falling back as well. As you can see, these ghouls had come in through the back door to try and cause a bit of problems. Low hit point footman. Is he going to get taken down? No, he is not. Arcane Tower. We're looking at a bit of damage going across all of these beetles. Mountain King trying to finish off these level 2 carry-on beetles. Or are we going to see a Stormbolt onto a unit? No, we are not. Ghoul down to 246 hit points. A Stormbolt would work here, and that could give level 2 to that Mountain King. As we're looking at the Crypt Lord still off to the side. All right, still racking up a little bit of damage. Are we going to see that carry-on beetle? One more shot should finish it off. Mountain King going to try to go after that target. Perhaps get to level 4. No, just a shy on experience. 9 experience right there. Little bit more damage. Mountain King playing a odd game, but when just needed one more need a little bit more mana. There is that regeneration right there, and keeping those units back off. I was expecting something to happen, and it just never came to fruition. We are looking at an Arcane Vault being built up here. Supply-wise, 40 over 48 supply, and the beetles are going to be trying to perhaps come back the other way. Mountain King's Thunderclap should finish off those 2 beetles, then give level 4. That would be a tremendous swap here, as there, a little bit of a chicken crossing the road to cause problems for the Mountain King. All right. Crypt Lord could easily just impale that footman. Not quite sure why he isn't doing that yet. Meanwhile, Mountain King coming back around the other side. We are teching the tier 2 on both sides, as we see the ghouls once more swarm in. There is a Forest Troll Berserker and a back across there. That gives level 4 to the Mountain King. Level 4 Mountain King does mean level 2 Stormbolt now, and that could be even more damage. Another ghoul going to get taken down here pretty easily. Mountain King sitting at level 4 has so many bullets to just constantly fire back at these units again. We're going to be looking at this Forest Troll Berserker. Ogre Mauler happy actually getting up an Ogre Mauler into that spot here, as the Forest Troll Berserkers are still fighting their way through. All right, a little bit of damage. We're going to see a bit of a deny. Level 4 now on the Crypt Lord. Mountain King sitting at level 4 as well, as the ghouls are trying to retreat back. That is a lot of peasants, way too many peasants on this gold mine now, as this low hit point footman could end up getting taken down. All right, I don't know if that was denied here. Ogre Lord, Ogre Mauler now trying to get into position here. We're going to see some more beetles getting summoned up. That Ogre Mauler down to 443 hit points, now looking to retreat back, as the Crypt Lord makes its way over, perhaps trying to put pressure here on the main base. All right. That is a lot. How many workers do we have? We have 16 workers for Romantic, as the beetles are trying to, push their way through. Blood Mage is now going to get summoned up here. Mountain King going to finish off this Ogre Mauler, now come back around. Meanwhile, this beetle is going to infest and take down the farm. No more hiring of mercenaries, as the peasants are, just repairing that farm to make sure that the beetles cannot swarm in. We could be looking at perhaps a potential impale here, but the Mountain King should be able to come up from behind and perhaps get in a Thunderclap to really slow, try and pick off some of these units. Are we going to see a Thunderclap here? No, we do not. There's that Thunderclap hitting it pretty much everything, slow capping everything down, as the footmen now need to try and retreat back out. Mountain King, 1 or 2 more shots to finish off that beetle. It looks like he will finish it off. There's going to be an impale. That is going to be a large amount of damage. There was are we going to see a Siphon Mana here? No Stormbolt. There's Stormbolt finally onto the Crypt Lord, and now Siphon Mana to drain out that rest of that mana once more. Mountain King still has a little bit of mana. Mountain King, however, moving in slow motion, as that mud golem did, throw some mud and got him to slow down. Death Knight now out on the battlefield as well. We are taking the tier 3, and we're going into triple Griffin Aviary. A lot of pressure has been placed down by Happy to try and break him. Hasn't really worked out yet, as we're looking at the Goblin Shredder clearing up the Kobold Geomancers and all of these units off to the side. Right, there's been so much action throughout this game. I'm sorry, chat, if you guys said anything I've been just trying to follow all of the action here. Death Knight now down to 213 mana already. Blood Mage wants to drain more mana if possible. There's going to be a Stormbolt, and wow, the Death Knight just got outside of range there, as we're still looking at a little bit of damage here. All right, there goes a Thunderclap. There's a Death Coil to save up that Crypt Lord. Meanwhile, a Blood Mage trying to, well, keep a little bit of distance. Death Knight a little bit low on hit points. We're going to see a Stormbolt now go down onto the Crypt Lord. Mountain King, however, doesn't have that much mana, as the Blood Mage is going to get impaled here. Mountain King could try to transfer that Scroll of Town Portal away. Are we going to see that? There's that siphon mana, and, well, Mountain King is now in some serious trouble by himself, unable to get the or give that mana there, as the Mountain King trying to slip through back the other side. Death Knight getting into the path of that Mountain King. Mountain King is retreating back. As he retreats back, the Blood Mage will be resurrected back at home, and now we're just simply waiting for Griffins, as, well, Romantic is sitting on 2,000 gold and just waiting to spend it. Meanwhile, Happy is sitting on 500 gold. We'll see how this all unfolds here in just a moment. 35 supply. This is going to be a big tech swap here in just a second. Oh, Goblin Zeppelin picking up, microing all of these units. There's the Thunderclap giving level 5 to that Mountain King. Mountain King got what exactly he wanted, and now perhaps going to try to go after these Obsidian statues. Obsidian statues can transform into destroyers, and that will neutralize those Griffins. Also, there are a good number of Crypt Fiends out on the battlefield. So Romantic's tech into Griffins may not be the proper choice any longer. 48 supply over 80. There's also a Paladin, third and final hero to be added in as the Blood Mage. Siphoning mana, also using a Clarity Potion to get a bit more mana as well. Mountain King does pick up an Orb of Fire and should be able to deal good bouts of damage. Death Knight gets up to level 2 on the bottom left, as we see the Lich as that third and final hero, also picking up an Orb of Corruption. All right, as the Assassin's getting cleaned up here. Crypt Lord making its way back. There's a Death Coil. Death Knight picks up Tome of Intelligence +2. Mountain King comes back across, Potion of Greater Mana onto that Blood Mage. Blood Mage taking a little bit of that damage. Mountain King opted to go for level 3 Thunderclap. So there's one down, one more, a couple more assassin hits. That's going to get taken down as well. Griffins are out on the battlefield here. Blood Mage with plenty of mana, giving more to that Mountain King. Paladin most likely going to Holy Light right there. Ring of Regeneration. Paladin taking the Ring of Regeneration as, well, spreading of items to make sure that the Paladin has a way to stay topped off on life. A bunch of Griffins are going to be making their way out onto the battlefield here, but that is not going to be enough. Look at all of these Crypt Fiends down. Mountain King, what is the proper units? Just training up the wrong units into this fight, as the Griffins going to try and go after some Crypt Fiends. All right, Crypt Fiends have been, well, Crypt Fiends are actually taking quite a bit of damage. Another Crypt Fiend could get taken down. There goes another. There goes another. All these Crypt Fiends are falling. Scroll of Town Portal as a tactical retreat. Staff of Sanctuary saves right there. But wow, all of those Crypt Fiends fell so quickly. 65 supply compared to 71. And now the Destroyers, well, the Destroyers are still strong and alive here. Are we going to be looking at Dragonhawk Riders? No transition to Dragonhawk Riders. Still repairing that front door. And the Griffins do have that Animal War training, and now with 2-1 upgrades. Being able to catch an Obsidian statue as it's, well, out of position. Oh, Crypt Lord could be in some serious trouble. Are we going to see a Thunderclap here, adding in more damage again and again? There's that Scroll of Town Portal to try and get away. Are we going to see some damage onto some Crypt Fiends? There goes another Crypt Fiend as well, as the Kobold Geomancer going to get, well, finished off here. Mountain King gaining a little bit more experience. Paladin picking up a Manual of Health. We're looking at 75 supply compared to 66. Now, Gargoyles are taking to the skies. We are triple Griffin Aviary, 75 supply right now. Could add in 1 or 2 more as the Griffins now go after these assassins here. Blood Mage looking to get to level 3. Paladin looking to get to level 2. That's going to be some Devotion Aura and adding in a little bit of additional damage as well. Potion of Healing also on that Paladin in order to be able to stay up on life. All right, Mountain King off on the side here. What is that Mountain King going to do? Mountain King going to go ahead and dive in, perhaps try and retreat back. We're looking at a Frost Nova onto a Griffin Rider. Griffin Rider pretty much going to get taken down immediately now that we have a bunch of gargoyles in the air as well. One ghoul pretty much getting taken down at a moment's notice, and we're just going to be exchanging blows back and forth. Holy Light trying to save, trying to set up an expo behind this as the Crypt Lords impale. Book of the Dead now being used. Blood Mage now sitting at level 3, going to siphon mana off of that Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord losing quite a bit of mana quickly here as the, well, Destroyer's trying to retreat back. There's another Thunderclap there. Air units completely ignoring the Thunderclaps and all of those impales. Are we going to see some more Staff of Sanctuaries? That needs to be the question. Mountain King needs to be going after all of these air units here as we see a tactical retreat back now. All right, damage going down onto some of these other units. It is just air versus air. It just so happens that the Destroyers are magic immune, and because of that, they don't take damage from Griffins. All right, flying machines and flak cannons to be added once more. 69 supply compared to 51. This expo on the top left, not going to be had. Perhaps, yes, there's a scroll of regeneration right there as the Destroyer is going straight after that Arcane Tower. Are we going to be looking at some repairs? We should be looking at repairs. They are not auto-repairing, not quite sure why. They're just standing around that tower and a little bit at a loss. Flying machines now coming back over out. The peasants needed to repair. Flying machines nearly get down to that Destroyer as the Griffins are, well, playing a game of chicken against the Destroyers with flying machines acting as backup support. All right, flying machines looking to engage. All right, Orb of Fire. Griffins just standing nearby, wondering why don't my hammers work on you? As they continue to heal once more. All right, a little bit of siphon mana into that Mountain King. Mountain King nearly topped off, picking up a Scroll of Town Portal as well. 49 supply now compared to 73. Romantic has the supply advantage. 532 going up against, I believe, 532 as well. So hero levels are about the same. Happy is mining more gold per second, but probably wants a larger army as we're looking at 1-0 upgrades and more flying machines getting added in. All right. Paladin now gets up to level 3. Also has some healing wards. We also see some scrolls of healing as well. 533 going up against 532. Griffins and flying machines going up against, going up against Destroyers. Destroyers, and that is pretty much it. 60 over 70 supply now. Are we seeing some obsidian statues or anything else? No, we do not. It is a little bit of an interesting scenario to ignore the Impale, the level 3 Impale, by just having a whole bunch of air units. So that Impale is normally very effective against a bunch of ground units and then neutralizing them, but Romantic is just countering the level 5 hero by going mass air. There's a Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich could be in some serious trouble. That's going to be some damage, and that's going to be a dead Lich in pretty much no time at all. Mountain King continuing to fire. Flying machines going after some of these units again. That, well, Obsidian statue never knew what hit him. So much damage so quickly. As the Griffins could also go after that Goblin Shredder. Anything with heavy armor will get absolutely melted in a matter of seconds. Mountain King taking quite a bit of damage. There's a Stormbolt onto a Griffin, or onto a Gargoyle right there. Little bit of damage. Both sides engaging. Flying machines exchanging blows back and forth. The Griffins, what is going on here? Why aren't the flying machines trying to go after if the Griffins are engaging? And there you are, flying machines. So many units going back and forth. Units are trying to retreat back. Gargoyles fighting right there. There goes an Impale. Only 2 heroes getting knocked up into the air. There's another Holy Light. Paladin is in position. There's a, well, Obsidian statue waiting to get tackled down. Gargoyles going straight after all of those units. We're going to see another Gargoyle getting cleaned up here. Fly Machine should just be engaging. The Griffins are actually acting as tanks now, absorbing the damage as the Fly Machines get a little bit of separation. All right, more damage coming back through. 76 supply compared to 50, and the Flying Machines are continuing to dive in onto the Destroyers now, just saying, you know what, let's just exchange blows. There goes a Goblin Shredder. Lich now back out onto the battlefield. Holy Light finishes off the Lich, and that is going to be the game. Mountain King gets up to level 6, but an easy win by Romantic here, taking the hero lead and just somehow winning with mass air. Mass air in an undead versus human matchup. The Crypt Fiends did not work simply because of level 3 Thunderclap. We saw the amount of Crypt Fiends in that battle, and I had my reservations. I was not sure how Romantic was going to play his way out of that. 2 Thunderclaps later, level 3 Thunderclaps later, all of those Crypt Fiends were just within poke range of death. Happy couldn't get the Crypt Fiends in order to web down those units and pick them off, and with that, decided to try to go for air. Even with mass gargoyles, the Griffins, with their Animal War training, 975 hit points, and then the flying machines purposely backing away from the combat, the gargoyles would try and go after the Griffins, and well, the flying machines had free range to just use their flak cannons piercing damage to shoot them down. And once at that point, the gargoyles are still effective against any unit that just happens to be on the ground, including those heroes. One Stormbolt, Focus Fire later, and it's gone. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.